Good morning, good afternoon, rather. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I did. Well, sort of, kind of. I was sick at home with a cold this whole weekend, but guess what? God is still good. Hallelujah. And I found favor in God. I'm here today. Did not want to miss being on the Money Factor with you guys. Welcome to this Monday. Listen, 2 more days left in the month. I have surpassed my goal in trading. I am so excited. Listen, guys, if you want to start making money beyond your imagination, waking up to money, as Kim Jones says, wake up to money with global currency trading. Today, we have an awesome show scheduled for you. We have a special guest. He is considered the master money man of the West Bank in New Orleans, Louisiana. He is known as the financial guru, Mr. David Torry of Marrero, Louisiana. He's going to come on and we're going to talk about projections. What are the financial analysts projecting that's going to occur in the United States over the next couple of months? As we move into 2018, we're going to discuss a 100-year prediction. What are they predicting and what should we be doing to get ourselves prepared? I am the money coach, Dr. G, your talk show host on the Money Factor on the New Orleans Talk Network. And I am waiting with excitement, expectation, and anticipation to hear what the money guru has to say. David Torry. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Are you struggling with debt collectors? Scared to answer the phone? Order Dr. G's Man Survival Kit and learn how to stop creditors. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840. Pedro, uno dinero. The U.S. dollar will collapse. Learn why you should buy physical silver and gold. Order Dr. G's P3. Plan, prepare, protect. Visit www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840. Identity theft is the #1 crime of the century. Protect your identity and visit lifelock.com. Use code LIV to receive a 10% discount or call Dr. G at 800-705-6840. Starting a church? Did you know churches do not have to be 501c3? For more information, visit www.ygliv.com or call Dr. G at 800-705-6840. Don't just get noticed, be remembered. Turn your business or event into a purple cow. Call Dr. G at 800-705-6840. Help Dr. G TV educate and share biblical principles to end-time prosperity and financial security. Donate now at www.ygliv.com or call 800-705-6840. Thank you for sharing with Dr. G and Living in Victory Ministries. Are you struggling with debt collectors? Scared to answer the phone?
Well, we are back. This is Dr. G, the money coach with the Money Factor on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm excited about my guest today. He is known as the money man, the master of money on the West Bank Expressway in New Orleans, Louisiana, Marrero, Louisiana. They tell me if you want to know anything about money on the West Bank, the best bank, you go to David Torry. David, welcome to the Money Factor. We're so excited to have you here today, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation. So tell us a little bit about the master, Money Master.
Thank you, Dr. Yolanda. David Torry, born and raised here on the West Bank, like I said, in Marrero. I'm currently living in the new Harvey, Louisiana. But I went to school here at with Jefferson High School and went to Southern University and got married. I'm married for 37 years to the great Darlene Hilton Torry out of Walkertown. Anybody know about Walkertown? So Walkertown, I have 4 children and 4 grandchildren, and I'm more excited today than ever before. And prior to getting into financial services, I had a 3-year stint in the Army and worked at 10 years at the New Orleans Postal Service. But after a while, I got bit by entrepreneurship. That wasn't making enough money, wanted something else I could do, was working shift work, but I knew there just had to be more to just having a job. And I got recruited by this national company over 30 years ago, and I fell in love with it. And one of the things I fell in love with it, what it was doing for community, and I found out our community, you know, we wasn't getting the concept, we wasn't getting the information that, right, we wouldn't get information about finances, and it's so easy to understand. So I love the approach that the company take, that we sit down and educate people about finances.
Awesome, awesome. I love that. So listen, today I want 37 years of marriage. High five on that.
Thank
awesome.
you very much. Thank you
the
very
wife
much.
isn't here, but hey, hats off to you, lady. I love that. 35 years of marriage right here.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Because today, guys, how many of you know marriage is so important, isn't it?
Yes,
and
it
the
is.
enemy is attacking
Yes.
on every end, especially in the finances.
Yes, yes.
Finances, is my understanding, is the number one killer of marriages, even in the church.
Yes, that's
even
right.
in the
That's
church.
right.
The church more so
Yes.
than the world, right? So listen, David, I want us today to talk about 3 things.
Okay.
One, I'm a financial coach.
Okay.
I don't sell insurance.
Okay.
I don't sell 501ks. I strictly educate.
Yes.
I educate small business owners. I educate individuals on having an understanding, like you just said,
Yes.
of information and lingo. So when they sit down with money masters like yourself, they can have a great understanding. So as we're approaching into the Gregorian calendar, I live off the biblical calendar.
Yes.
So I'm already in 2018.
18. All right.
But
come on.
as we're approaching the Gregorian calendar and we're talking about 2018, financial analysts all over the world, especially here in America, are focused on 2 things. One, it is believed we are approaching a 100-year history. Now, we do know God operates in cyclical cycles,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
cycle means it goes around,
Correct.
which means it's coming back eventually,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So many financial analysts believe we are approaching a 100-year cycle of, we haven't seen a depression, not a recession,
Correct.
but a financial depression since World War II.
Correct.
Then there is another financial projection by analysts that says every 10 years, the United States experience some type of financial bubble, burst, pop.
Yes.
Right? In 2008, we had the real estate bust.
Correct.
10 years before that, we had the tech bust.
Correct.
So now they're projecting 2018, we're going to have another bust. So when we come back, and then the third thing is, because we're projecting that all these things are going to happen, and you're selling products that
Correct.
help people, right?
Right.
I want to hear your perspective on those projections, and then I want you to talk to our audience about what should people be doing
Yes.
to prepare for these projections. What if they do come to pass?
Yes.
No man knows what tomorrow's going to bring
Yes.
but God, but I do believe God gives us revelation
Yes.
for preparation,
Yes.
right? And so when we come back from break, I would like you to begin to share with us one, how do they come by all of these type of projections? How do they build up to these projections? I know history repeats itself.
Yourself, right?
But what are we not doing to keep it from repeating itself? And then two, what's your outlook on that? And then, like I said, three, how do we begin to prepare the middleman?
Yes.
The little
Yes.
man,
Yes.
not people who have $10,000
Correct.
to open up a stock options account. No, I want to talk to those who are everyday people living paycheck to paycheck, people who have 401ks.
Correct.
They're trying to save for retirement, and their retirements might get caught up in this thing like Enron.
Yes.
What's his name? The guy who stole all the people money.
Bernie Mac.
Bernie
Yeah,
Mac,
yeah.
Lord Jesus. How,
Madoff.
how
That's
do we
right.
how do we protect
Yeah.
the people? And he took people who
Yeah.
was supposed to be very well versed
right.
and knowledgeable in
About
money,
money,
right?
yes, correct.
But again,
Yes.
I think one of our we'll talk about it.
Yes.
Listen, guys, write the number down because I really want to hear from you guys today. 504 341 8255. This is a really good show today. It's a really great conversation that we're having. And you know what? I think I'm going to bring you back and a couple of other financial people on the
Yes.
show, and let's have a
Be honest.
dialogue
Yes. Yes.
amongst all of us. But guys, look, 504 341 8255, 504 341 8255. I want you to call. Send your questions in. David is going to share some really great information with us on today on how we prepare for these projections. Listen, we don't have but 3 more months
So then, yes.
before we enter into the world's calendar, the Gregorian calendar, and it could happen in January, February, March. It could happen
Yes.
in October of
Yes.
2018,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
No man knows when, but I think he gives revelation for preparation. So listen, David's going to prepare us. When we come back, I want you guys write that number down, 504 341 8255. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you tired of being denied because of your credit always being turned down? Are you ready to go from denial to approval, looking for that perfect credit application? Want to grow your credit score to a 730 or higher? Move from a low score to a high score? Want to live in victory in your life? Order now Dr. G's Step by Step Credit Repair Workbook for just $9.99 at www.ygliv. Well, guys, we are back. Thank you for staying around with us. I'm back with David Torry, the money master of the West Bank, the money guru. We're coming today to talk about three things. One, we want to talk about the 100-year projection. Financial analysts are projecting that America is approaching its 100-year whereby every 100 years we're supposed to experience a financial depression, not a recession. And David, talk to us about that. Can you let us share what is the difference between the two, the depression versus the recession, and why should we be so concerned?
Yes, a great question, Dr. Yolanda. Recession can last for several quarters, 2, 3, maybe 4 quarters, but a depression can last indefinitely.
Wow.
Indefinitely. And we're talking about a decline in income, a decline in employment. So over the years, we done seen recessions, but I think in our lifetime, we haven't seen depressions. So when you go back to the World War II or before that, when our parents came through the Great Depression, I mean, the food lines, the jobs is definitely going. That can last indefinitely. And so that's what you definitely got, what you have had over the last 100 years there.
So sort of kind of like what Venezuela's going through right now.
Yes.
They're standing in line for food, and they're getting rations as it's being distributed by their government. The government itself has run out of cash. They're almost running out of gold, from my understanding. And that's something America, I'll say, we have not experienced, like you said, since the Great Depression. I know as a baby boomer, you're a baby boomer.
Yes.
Our parents experienced it. And my mom is 89.
Yes.
She'll be 90 in March. So I know just for her, it's been a long time. And in my lifetime, I have not experienced such a threat, nor have I experienced such a financial hardship as such of a thing as that. And even to date, when we look at our new president, Mr. Trump, Donald President, what are your thoughts? Some believe he's going to bring the economy back. Some believe he's the new Cyrus, King Cyrus, right? Who was one of the great financial leaders in the world, right?
Yes.
And some believe he's going to just tear America apart. From a financial perspective, David, you've been in this business a very long time. What are your thoughts about that?
Another great question there. Now, this is my personal feelings that our president, President Trump, is a businessman that has over 500 to 1,000 businesses. And whatever he's doing is not only going to affect us, it's going to affect him. So the move that he's going to make is going to let him make more money, and those are people, his constituents, the people that are, prior to his particular party right now. Just one of the things that's in the news right now, that he want to overhaul the tax reform.
Right.
And so we want to give more money to the middle class. I think some of the things that you may not like some of the other things, but he's a business thing. He's going to do things that going to stimulate the economy, get the economy definitely moving. You heard some things, he want to keep it in America. He want the jobs in America. So I just think a lot of things that he's going to definitely do is going to, from an economic point of view, from a business point of view, is going to help us in America.
So you think there are going to be some, and you're not and the reason I'm bringing that up, I've talked to some great real estate gurus who also feel the same way. They believe he's going to make some changes. And I know even right now, there are some laws being considered to be rewritten to aid people in credit, to help people improve their credit, which affects your financial outcome, right? Interest rates, insurance rates, and all things of that nature. And they believe he's going to do things, like you say, to help build the economy. So with that in mind, there are others from a spiritual perspective believe that this is our grace period.
Okay.
So do we think over these next 4 years, he just came in 2017, right? So we have until 2021.
Yes.
Will these 4 years be the grace period to get it together? Is this period a time that's mainly for consumers and not so much corporations, that we as individuals should be getting our finances in order? I know you're a saved man, you're a spiritual man as well. So give me your it's just you and I and our opinions. Forget the naysayers. I like to hear other financial analysts, gurus. I'm not the only money person in the
Yes.
world. I like to hear other people's perspective.
I, great question. I think this is a time for us to get our finances in order, our house in order. This is a grace period right now to get things done. If you hadn't done it well in the past, now's the time to definitely get it together. And what I mean that one of the areas that we're overindulging in debt. Debt is
Yes.
what we did in the 70s, the 80s, and 90s right now, if your preparation is not to be debt free, I think the scriptures say, owe no man nothing but to love him. Is there ever time you got to get out of debt? You got to get out of debt because whatever move they go, it's going to affect everybody there. But if you owe, or if the market goes the different way, the jobs go the different way. Going back to about our parents, that's one thing our parents knew. They didn't have the education we knew, but they know how to save for a rainy day.
Yes, they did.
They had money. They
Yes,
had money
they did.
in the can,
In
in the ground, under the fireplace, right? But here we got education. We make more money than ever before. We make a dollar
we
and we
broke.
want to spend. That's right, we broke. We living from paycheck to paycheck. And once again, even with our country, just printing money, it's like a house of cards. Sooner or later, the card's going to crumble. It's going to come crashing down. So one of the things you got to do, we got to get out of debt. We got to get out of debt. And one of the easiest ways to get out of debt is the debt stacking that. Take that one, but not to go borrow any money to get out of debt. Take the income that you got and go after the first bill. Once you get that first bill down, roll the money on to the next bill.
That's right.
And to the next bill until you get on that mortgage because so we can start saving some money. So I think the next 4 years is that you got to get liquid. Yeah, nothing wrong with your 401ks, nothing wrong with your IRAs, but you better get liquid. What happened to Katrina? We hit and we couldn't go into our ATM machine. We couldn't get any money.
We got it. And so, with that in mind, let's move
Yeah.
to. We talked about this 100-year
Yes.
deal. Now we getting closer.
Yes. Yes.
With the 100-year, we might have some time.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Right.
But now let's move to this 10-year projection.
Yes.
They're saying every 10 years, America experiences some type of bubble.
Yes.
We know in 2008. It was the
Yes.
housing bubble. Before the 2008 bubble, it was the tech bubble.
Correct.
So what possible bubble could be next? What? I know when we blow bubbles,
Yes.
all kind of bubbles
Yes.
come out.
Yes.
But what could be the next bubble, David?
It behooves me. All I know is that when people or the powers that be is greedy and taking advantage of different people, there's a correction. It's called karma, deja vu, whatever you definitely want to say it right now. There will be definitely a correction. And you mentioned to me earlier spiritual. I believe spiritually right now for the believers, it's a great time for believers.
It's our time.
I believe that the wealth of the wicked eventually finds its hands into the righteous. I think what definitely happened is that there's a big transfer definitely coming, and it's coming to the body of Christ. I don't know how God's going to definitely do it right now, but that money going to get into our hands so we can do the right things with it, so we can promote our kingdom business. So you're talking about the 10 years. I done seen the last 10 years, but here's what happened in our particular culture. We get afraid, and even going back to our parents, the depression, we get afraid of taking advantage of the instruments, of taking advantage of. Once again, 10 years ago, when the real estate bubble busted, that wasn't a time to sell. That was the time to buy.
That's right. We have a saying in real
right.
estate. We
Yes.
say, get them while the blood
Yes.
is running in the
Yes.
streets. Right? So when you see these disasters
Yes.
occurring
Yes.
right now, Houston,
Yes.
Puerto Rico,
Yes.
those should be, even they showed on the news the other night, New Jersey,
Yes.
from the Hurricane Sandy has not recouped from that disaster, and you're looking for real estate investment and
Yes.
development.
Yes.
This is, you
Yes.
go to those cities,
Yes.
right? Even still here in
Yes.
our own
I will say
city,
that. Yes.
in New Orleans, you still have opportunity to capture that loss that occurred due to that disaster. So I agree with you. Excuse me. One of the challenges we have is we don't know when
Yes.
and how, but I tell you what, One of the projections for this next bus is projected to be the stock market. They're
Yes.
projecting that the stock market is too much
Yes.
in a bullish
Correct.
system, and it has to correct itself and come back to a balanced place. And so, with that in mind, what makes me leery as a financial coach, as a literacy coach, what makes me leery is a lot of our people 401ks are built upon the stock market.
Correct.
So, David, when we come back
Yes.
after this message,
Yes.
I want you to talk to us. How do we protect ourselves? How do
Yes.
we diversify? How do we cover
Excellent.
ourselves
Yes.
from this correction that's being predicted? And I feel like when you get a bunch of educated, well-versed financial people in a room,
Yes.
and it's like the prophets.
Yes.
The Bible said, get the prophets together and let them prophesy amongst one another. Well, financial analysts are financial prophets.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
When they come together in a room, they're coming together to prophesy,
Yes,
to
correct.
make projections of what they believe is going to happen. And I respect that, especially when they align it up with history.
Yes.
And cyclical teaching, because biblically the Bible teaches us that God is a cyclical God.
Yes.
And the world is it's in a circumference.
Yes.
It's not flat. So eventually it's coming back. Listen, guys, we want to hear from you. Call in 504-341-8255. We really want to hear your questions. David is the money guru. He has the answers for us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yes.
Learn how to turn your cell phone into an ATM machine. That's right. Conveniently make your deposits and withdrawals directly from your cell phone by simply learning how to trade global currency through foreign exchange. That's right. It's as simple as entering a trade, take profit, close the trade, take your cash, and that's it. Turn your nickels into dollars. Turn quarters into dollars. Simply by learning how to do global currency trading. That's right, it's bigger than the stock market. $5.3 trillion a day, 5 days a week, 24 hours a day of trading. That's right, making money right in the comfort of your home or eating at Piccadilly's with Dr. G. Learn the new rules of money, of Forex, global currency trading, by joining Dr. G and Marilyn Lee every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, located at the Piccadilly Restaurant, 533 Lapalco Boulevard, Gretna, Louisiana. So come out, have a bite to eat, and join Dr. G and the VIP traders as we copy, profit, and paste. See you there. Guys, thank you. We are back. Dr. G, the money coach. on the Money Factor with the New Orleans Talk Network. We're here with the money guru, the money master of the West Bank, the best bank, David Torry. So, David, and we're discussing today three major factors. One, we talked about the 100-year projection of our nation facing another depression. We talked about this 10-year projection, which is coming in 2018. Every 10 years, our nation experienced some type of a financial bust. 2008, it was the real estate bust. 10 years before that, 2000 and what was it, 10?
Yes.
We experienced the tech bust. And now this time they're saying the stock market bubble is going to bust and that the stock market is too high in a bullish tone. Bullish means we're buying too much. There's no such thing as this much money available in the stock market from a buying perspective. And so if the projection is the stock market is going to bust, the bubble is the stock market, and our 401ks are tied into the stock market, what should we be doing, David, to protect ourselves?
Great question again, Dr. Yolanda. I think right now, for example, you got several type of investors. If a person have been in the market, let's say close to retirement plan, retirement time, got their 401k, got hundreds of thousands of dollars in there, in their 50s, close to their 60s, close to retirement. Experts say probably about 3 to 5 years toward retirement, a person should diversify or maybe kind of downgrade. Maybe when your accumulation phase there, we're definitely into stock. But now our money should be in income instruments. So as we get closer, so when the shift, if the roller coaster of the market goes up and definitely down, right, you won't be affected as much. That cash instrument, a money market instrument, bonds. That because so if the market is going up and down, the bonds are stable. That so a person shouldn't ride the market all the way out. Because we've seen in the past, personal portfolio can drop 30, 40, 50, 60% over that particular time. Lock in what it is that you definitely got. So as it get closer to that. But when you're dealing with a younger in their 20s and their 30s right now, when the market makes a correction, buy, dollar cost averaging over the last 20, 30 years, 40, 50 years, here's what the market, look what the market is right now, 23,000, 22,000. It started from zero. It goes up, it comes back down, but instead of keep going, definitely up. So to our advice, for those that's close to retirement, diversify. Get out of the market, maybe, but now you can have a little bit in it, but you shouldn't be 100%. It shouldn't be 80-20, 80% stock, 20% bond. It should be now maybe 30 or 30% stocks and maybe 70% in bonds. That so you can protect what you definitely got. We don't want to lose the assets you definitely got.
So how do tell them, how do they go? A lot of people 401ks are tied into their corporations that they're working for. I know a lot of my people who come to me will say, I know I have a 401k, but I don't really know what I have. Or they don't know how their company has that 401k organized in their portfolio. So what do they do, David, when they go to their corporation, or what do you do? And could they come to you, and do they stay in their company's 401k and you help them? How can we do that?
That is a great question. First thing is they need to get their statement. They need to call human resources. They need to get their statement. And do you know there's a law passed that the company is supposed to annually sit down and go over the client's portfolio, but it's hard to regulate it because the corporation got other things. They're supposed to bring in somebody once a year and go over the rebalancing of their portfolio.
So you're saying individually or as a corporation?
As a corporation, they're supposed to help their They are.
So if I worked for AT&T,
Yeah.
they're
Yes.
supposed to have.
Yes.
So it's kind of like the annual stockholders
Yes,
meeting.
correct.
They're supposed to have a meeting
Yes.
with their employees
That's
to
right.
talk about
That's right.
where the company is, where
Yes.
the company's
Yeah,
stock is,
correct.
and how that stock
That's right.
affects them
That's right.
as an employee. You guys are listening
Yes.
to this?
Yes.
This is good
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
And see, information gives you, empowers
Amen.
you to know what to do. That's good, David. You might
Yes.
need to share.
Yeah.
And so if that's
Yeah.
not happening, what should they be doing?
So the first thing they need to do is get their statement. It's easy to read. They need to get the statement and see how their portfolio is allocated. Most of the portfolio is allocated probably heavily in stocks. But there's a portfolio, or else they can ask questions, or that's what we actually do as a financial coach. We help people in that particular area, but they have to properly allocate it. When I say properly allocated, that it shouldn't be so heavily into the stock side. It should now be, and all it is just so you can call a particular company that, or when you got your pen, you can do it online and just say, I want to now money instead of heavily invested in the stocks, I want it definitely going out to bonds there. But your human resources manager can tell them definitely how to do that also.
And when we talk about diversity, the Bible says in Ecclesiastes 11:1, sow a little here,
Yes.
sow a little there,
Yes.
and even across seas,
Yes.
sow a little. For watch this, no man knows when disaster comes.
Yes.
So with that in mind, David, how do they take that portfolio and diversify where they also include across seas? How do they include foreign investments inside their portfolio?
Here's what happened, and that's a great question, Dr. Yolanda. There's whenever you're dealing with a financial coach or investor or whoever, even on your job, the first thing you do before investing money, you should do a risk questionnaire. The risk questionnaire determines that investor temperament.
Ah, that's good.
So temperament, because if a lot of people, one of the questions they say, how do you feel if the market takes a 20% hit in 90 days? What about in 6 months? What about in a year? What about if it don't rebound in 3 years? How would you feel? Would you be concerned about it? Or would you go to sleep? Or would you be, if your portfolio dipped 10%, 20%, 30%, how would you feel? So these are some of the questions that we ask an investor to find out their temperament. If they say, David, I can't afford to see my statement. I can't stand to see my statement drop 5%, 10%. Then they don't need to be in that type of instrument. So we show them how to put it in an instrument that fits their personality, different type. But if you invest the money in the market, investing money in your 401k, and you haven't done, you should be doing a risk profile every year, every 6 months. See if your temperament has changed. That in the investment, the companies that you're with, they have risk profile questionnaires. Once again, the human management resource, whatever company that they're doing investment in, you should be doing that definitely on yourself. But we definitely, before I sit down with a person and start advising investment, we do this risk questionnaire profile.
Wow, awesome. Did you guys get that? Listen, don't forget, call in. We want to hear your questions. There is no dumb question. Ask the question if you're not sure, especially if you have a 401k in a corporation. David's going to tell us, David, so you told us make sure, so you're really talking about risk.
Yes,
if
correct.
you're a person who like high risk,
Yes.
moderate risk,
Yes.
slow or low
Yes,
risk,
that's right.
then you need to make sure your portfolio. Then what about mutual funds? I hate them.
Yeah. Well, they're elementary. That's the easiest way to start investing. Really, there's 3 type of accounts a person should have. They should have an emergency account.
Right.
Their cash instrument, their bank account, their credit union account, money they can get their hand on 3 or 6. Before even people want to invest, but they don't have 3 to 6 months income on the side in case emergency.
That's right.
Things definitely
That's
happen.
right. That's right.
So they should have an emergency account. Then it should have another account is a short-term purchase account where we put it in, get a little bit more aggressive where if I want to buy a major purchase, a car, a house, a person lose their income That's a different type of investment. And then you got a long-term investment where for a retirement plan, for the kids' education and everything else. So here's what we got. We got people preparing for retirement but put money in a short-term vehicle. So put money in the bank, getting less than 1% of return.
Right.
So we said no. The vehicle should marry one another. That if it's short term, should be short term investment, but it's long term. But when I start off with people investing, that we start off with a little basic mutual fund. Although there's fees there, you got to pay for something to get something there. But there are mutual funds out here where a person can get 6, 8, 9, 10, 12%. They have to perform over the last 30 years. There. And all a mutual fund is there is a diversified stock portfolio. Instead of putting it in one account, it put it in 500 different accounts all across America right now. 500 different corporations there, 20, 30 different industries. My projection also going back over the last 10 years, 15, 20 years, what have gas prices done over the last 20, 30 years? What have food prices done over the last 20 years? What have housing costs? I remember the day, my first little car back in, I'm going where I'm telling my age there, but I ain't paying them on $1,000, but an average car costs $30,000 today. The point I'm making, what is medical costs definitely going up? So either you can join them, or if you can't beat them, you join them. So if my money is in the medical field, my money is in the gas field, the food products, the housing industry, the economy is steady going up at a particular pace. So that's what we believe about mutual fund. You got professional manager. I'm not a professional manager. I'm just a coach there, but they got professional manager. Their number one job is to watch your money. They watch a person got $50 or people that got millions of dollars. That they're diversified. And then once again, here's why I love mutual fund, because if I put my money in the bank, I'm only getting interest.
Right.
But if I put it in the stocks, if I'm putting it in mutual fund, I'm getting capital gains. I'm getting dividends right now. My money, I'm getting appreciation where that money can grow definitely faster. Right? So that's basic elementary 101 is getting the mutual fund before they go to more sophisticated investment instrument. Because really, that's all a 401k is. A 401k is nothing but a mutual fund.
Full of mutual funds.
Full of mutual funds.
And when that bubble comes, David, oh my God, there's going to be a lot of people in trouble.
Yes. Once again, it goes back to, I'm looking at this brochure right here. A person that shouldn't be, once again, your age has a lot to do with it also. So some of the questions I was telling you about, what's the age, when do this expect to start using the money, or what type of temperament. But most people are moderate growth. Or maybe a conservative growth. But I'm talking about the youngsters, the millennials, they're young. Man, let it ride. Man, they can put that money, they can go international, they can go global. They can have a 80, 90, 100% stock portfolio. They can dollar
So what happens to the boomers who got caught up in that real estate bubble?
Yes.
A lot of people got hurt in that.
Yes.
Really, that bubble caused a lot of boomers to go back to work.
Correct. Yes.
A lot of boomers could not live off retirement.
Correct.
They lost their 401k accounts.
Yes.
And they don't really have anything.
Yes.
So what do you say to those boomers who are still trying to recover from '08, and now we're moving into another 10-year projection, hitting us in the face?
Yes.
What do you tell those boomers, David? What do you tell them?
A great question. Again, once again, an assessment of their situation. If I was sitting down with a person, first question I ask them, when would you like to be in position to retire? So let's just say they got a 5-year template. Then here's the next question. How much money do you need coming in to retire? Because we know they may get a little Social Security, but the millennials won't get no Social Security today. But the boomers may get a little Social Security today. And then this determines how much money or where they need to be putting the money in there. They have no choice. if they need another $1,000, $2,000 a month to supplement their retirement, there's no way they're gonna make up the loss by being conservative. They have to be.
They have to go to high risk.
They have to play a high risk.
They have to play, and they're gonna
Yes.
have to jump into
Yes.
that mutual
That's
fund
right.
pool.
They got to jump into it.
Listen, guys, this is our last time. You're gonna have to call in 504-341-8255. David has about 10 minutes left. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere. Wow.
Yes.
Are you tired of being denied because of your credit always being turned down? Are you ready to go from denial to approval, looking for that perfect credit application? Want to grow your credit score to a 730 or higher? Move from a low score to a high score? Want to live in victory in your life? Order now Dr. G's Step by Step Credit Repair Workbook for just $9.99 at www.ygliv.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
So listen, guys, I am back with David Torry, and before we go, because that time closes on us so fast, David, I want you to tell the people how to get in touch with you, your website, your phone number, how do they get in touch with you?
I'm a local businessman here on the West Bank on Manhattan Boulevard, right on the corner of Manhattan and Lepaco. The address is 2439 Manhattan Boulevard. We're in the fifth floor, suite 506. My phone number, my office number is 504-367-2555. That's 504-367-2555. And Dr. Yolanda, I don't know if they can see this here. Can they see this? The audience see this?
I don't think so.
They can't. Okay, but
You
there's
can
one
see.
book that we just advise people. Just it's elementary. If you read this book here on finance, it's called How Money Works. It's a common sense guide to financial success. If a person calls us that, we'll give them one of these here particular free
Wow,
books.
there you guys go.
Yes.
Here
It
we
covers
see.
all kind of topics about investment, debt strategies. It covers all insurance, how to allocate your money, everything we just went over today, but on an elementary level. And so a person calling that, we give them one of these particular books and just do a free consultation if they desire that also.
So, guys, you know what I always say in my Donald Trump voice? What do you have to lose? That's what he said when he wanted the votes. What do you have to lose?
That's right.
So what do you have to lose? Call David. Get the book, especially if you have a 401k account with
Yes.
your company
Yes.
that you're working with, and you're really not sure how that portfolio is balanced out.
Correct.
You
That's
really
the
don't
word.
understand how it's diversified. Listen, I will say this. History and my mentees, those who I coach, know history repeats itself.
Yes, it does.
And eventually, this bubble is going to occur.
Right.
When we don't know, but revelation is for preparation,
Correct.
and I believe God is revealing so that we might have an understanding, so we may prepare for what's coming. So if you don't know, reach out to David, get the book, at least call David and get the book. You can read it on your own terms and your time, so that you can get your questions answered. And you guys know me. I only deal with people who deal in truth, who's going to give you the truth. I'm reading scripture this morning in the book of Lamentations. The Bible said, face your demons head on. That's what the word said this morning. It said, face your demons head on. And I want to challenge you to face your financial demons head on. Face your bad credit head on.
yes.
Face your ignorance to your financial portfolio. You don't know what that 401k has? Face that demon head on, so that you could do the best that you can do to your ability, right, David?
Yes.
To get yourself positioned for prosperity and not for doom. For prosperity and not for doom. Listen, next week, my guest will be none other than my spiritual mom, Dr. Deborah B. Martin. She's going to come on, and we're going to talk about marriage and money, David.
Ooh, yes, indeed. Excellent.
We're going to talk about marriage and money. I want you guys here next week as she shares with us her and Bishop's secrets to their marital financial success. Haven't always been millionaires, but look at where God has brought them from and what they're doing in the body of Christ. And David, again, we want to say thank you for coming on the show, sharing that wealth of information with us. Guys, don't forget, call David, get the book, How Money Works. Today, he shared a wealth of information with us, and there's his number. One more time, David, give him that information.
Once again, the number is 504-367-2555, 504-367-2555. Thank you once again, Dr. Yolanda.
Thank you, David, for coming on the show. Listen, I've been your host, Dr. G, the Money Coach. Thank you for joining us on The Money Factor here on the New Orleans Talk Network. Until next week, see you later.